Welcome to my YouTube channel Narula Stenography. My name is Sahil Narula and I am presently working in Haryana Agriculture Department. I have qualified SSC stenographer and Delhi High Court skill test as well. On the basis of my experience, I will provide you dictations that will be helpful in your skill tests. So be ready. I am coming here today from Bihar where I performed or helped in the opening ceremony of a very magnificent piece of work of Indian engineers, the Great Dam. This, I am told, is the longest in the world. A day before that, I performed or participated in a completely different function at Nalanda, a great university center of 1500 years ago in Magad, which is now Bihar. At this place, where the ruins of the university still exist, my mind went back to the days of Buddha. I thought of his message, which, apart from its religious significance, was a message of tolerance, a message against superstition, rituals, and dogma. It was a message essentially in the scientific spirit. The Buddha asked no man to believe anything except what could be proved by experiment and trial. All he wanted man to do was to seek the truth and not accept anything on the word of another, even though it be of the Buddha himself. That seems to me the essence of his message, besides tolerance and compassion, and it struck me that the message, far from being out of date today, had a peculiar significance in this world of ours. The spirit of dogma, I say with respect, has affected badly the religious quest and made both minds and practices conform too rigidly. Rigid and intolerant ideas which assert in effect that I am in possession of the truth, the whole truth, every bit of the truth, and nobody outside the pale has it. Narrow man's mind shutting the door against a tolerant and objective approach where man not only look up at the heavens without fear but are also prepared to look down into the pit of hell without fear. It seems to me that people in Buddha's time were more advanced in tolerance and compassion than we are, although they were not so advanced in technology and science. While I was there, it struck me that quite apart from the religious issues, there might be something worthwhile in the traditional view of life because it is a tolerant view of life. While it may hold one opinion, it respects the opinion of the others and allows that there may be truth in others' opinions too. It looks at the universe and the mysteries of the universe and tries to find in a spirit of humanity. That is their approach to their religion. The scientist is supposed to be an objective seeker after truth. Science has grown because, in a large measure, the great scientists have sought truth in that way. But I suppose no man today, not even a scientist, can live in a world of his own, in some kind of ivory tower cut off from what is happening. Therefore, science today has perhaps begun to cross the borders of morals and ethics. If it gets divorced completely from the realm of morality and ethics, then the power it possesses may be used for evil purposes. But above all, if it ties itself to the gospel of hatred and violence, then undoubtedly it will have taken a wrong direction which will bring much peril to the world. I plead with the scientists here and elsewhere to remember that the scientific spirit is essentially one of tolerance, one of humanity, one of realization that somebody else may also have a bit of the truth. Scientists should note that they do not have a monopoly of the truth, that nobody has a monopoly, no country, no people, no book. Truth is too vast to be contained in the minds of human beings or in books, however sacred. Let us be a little humble. Let us think that the truth may not perhaps be entirely with us. Let us cooperate with others. Let us, even when we do not appreciate what others say, respect their views and their ways of life. Let us go back to an ancient age in India, Ashoka's period 2300 years ago. This man, who was infinitely more than an emperor, has left memorials all over this great land, memorials which you can see today. Among the messages that he gave, there is one which I think we should all remember, not only in this country but elsewhere. Addressing his own people, he said, "If you revere your faith, while you revere your own faith, you shall revere the faith of others. In reverencing the faith of others, you will exalt your own faith and will get your own faith honored by others. If you apply that message of tolerance not only to religion but to the other activities of human life, such as politics, economics, and science, you will find that it puts things in a different context. It is a context which is not very much in evidence today, where differences of opinion are not liked, where the tendency is to suppress the view or the way of life that is not approved of, where ultimately science itself becomes vitiated by a narrow. So friends, please like, share and subscribe my channel, and thank you.